Alright, this is going to be the review sheet number 31 quick video. Somehow we forgot the number here, but this one looks a little bit different because it's basically the fronts. It's like the front, two-sided of what the front usually looks like. So you know this review sheet is going to be worth 20 because each side is going to be worth 10. So quite a few points to get here. First thing here is this is a function table. Okay, now a function table, also known as an in and out table, which some of you might have called it, which you can see the words in and out there. That's what you probably called it in elementary school. Basically, the numbers are coming in as one thing, and then they're getting spit out as something else. Okay, and there's always something happening to it. In this case, we're giving you what the rule is. So we're looking at this going, this is your x's here. These are your x's. All you have to do is take that x, plug it in there, and that's going to give you your output. So I'll give you an example. If I had another number on here that was 12, and I said, okay, a 12 comes in, well, I'm going to plug it into there, so that's going to be 12 divided by 2, which is mean if I brought a 12 in, then a 6 is going to get spit out based on that rule. So that one should be pretty easy based on that. Here, just remember the first step is to turn that into a numeric expression. So, you know, you guys are not allowed to start doing any of the problem at all. The first thing you should do is do 4 plus 6 divided by 2 times 4 times 4. That's what it should look like. That's the first step that you always do, and you guys know that. Okay, you don't start doing any of the steps before that. Then, after that, you're going to have, including this, you should have 4 lines. 4 lines of work. So that's including this one. So this would be number 1, then you should have 2, 3, 4, and then your answer would be 5 if you count that as a line. Okay? But pretty easy there. All review. Here, just make sure you're doing unit rate. This is from chapter 5. Okay? So just remember, this is like the big key here. We did one of these on last week's review sheet. You're going to have 2 different proportions here. I'll go ahead and write 2 proportions. Okay? So you see that this right here is your fake ratio. You're going to have to find the unit rate per 1 Arnold Palmer. See what 1 Arnold Palmer costs, and then you'll be able to do another proportion to figure out how many or how much it would cost for 9 of them. But nothing you haven't seen here, guys. I mean, you guys have seen these consistently throughout the whole entire year. Okay? Mean, median, mode, and range. I mean, it's chapter 13. We won't get to it until in about 3 weeks. But we've done mean, median, mode, and range the entire school year. So I just feel like you should have those down by now. Okay? And if you don't, you can always look them up on the internet, but you should be good. Just look back at past review sheets also. Here, prime factorization. Now, be real careful. I know you guys all know how to do your tree. That's fine. The tree is not the answer. The actual prime factorization is when you multiply all the prime numbers multiplied by each other. So a prime number times a prime number times a prime number. That's the answer. This is how you find the prime factorization. This is the prime factorization here. Okay, so you not only have to do the tree, you have to do that, obviously, but then you need to actually do the prime number times the prime number times the prime number. I'll give you an example just so you understand. If I had 45 and I did the tree for that, that would be 5 and 9. I know 5 is prime. Then I'll break that to 3 and 3. If I were doing that, this is not my prime factorization. My answer would be 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, that's how I want it done. That's the prime factorization. Okay? Here, you know, this is from chapter 3, going way back. You obviously need your work. You can't just type it in your calculator. You will remember that I taught you guys to simply just take those decimals out of there. Just get rid of them. So actually what you'll be doing at first, if you want to do it this way, is you'll be doing 153 times 18. Then you'll put those decimals back in at the end. Okay? Should be good there. That's review from elementary school. So should be all good there. This is going to be a proportion. Okay? So you see that you're given a fake ratio that you have 3 makes to 7 misses. And they're going to give you either a real amount of makes or misses. So again, I don't think I need to show you anything there. I think that's pretty easy there, I think, from what I've seen out of you guys for the school year so far. Here, we're going to be doing long division. The first thing that should jump out at you is that divisor. Something's the matter with it. And that's, remember, you have to make that a whole number, which meant you multiplied it by 10. Well, if you do that to the divisor, you must do it to the dividend also. So you have to do that and add a 0. Okay? And then you can do your long division from there. Okay? Here, I'll remind you guys that when you're given a ratio such as this, okay, it says the ratio of tables to total is 5 to 12. Remember, we always did edge pieces. It's always a good place to organize all your thoughts. So that means there are 5 tables. You know that there are 12 total pieces of furniture. And since there are only tables and chairs, there's one other piece of information you'll get from that, okay, that you need. I'll let you guys figure that out. There is one more piece of information there, and then that'll be able to give you the answer to these two. Divisibility rules. If you don't remember, they are in your Chapter 1 notes, which you guys all should have. They are in there. If you just can't find them or whatever, they're actually in the folder. There is a Chapter 1 folder in the materials section. You can look them up there. Or just look up Google divisibility rules, because I really can't help you. I really can't help you with this without giving. That's not spelled right here. Divisibility, like that. ITY on there. Rules. And it'll come up and it'll tell you the divisibility rules, and then it'll come back to you instantly of how you know that whether or not this is divisible. The one thing I will not accept is I just divided it. I won't accept you doing this. I don't want that. I don't want you to actually do it. I want you to actually use the rule that's in place that'll make this a lot easier than doing this. And the rule's pretty easy. Okay? So it's true or false, and then you'll have to tell me why. Okay, let's go to the back. Okay. Which ratio is equal to 4 to 9? You just have to figure out which one of these is going to be the exact same. So I'm not going to help you again with that one, because I just think it's so review, and I think you can figure that out. You just got to think about it. Okay. Here, rounding, which we still struggle with a lot. Just remember, wherever you're rounding, like if I were rounding there, this is not the answer, but if I were rounding there, I would always look to the number to the right. If that number to the right is 5 or more, then I know this is going to have to go up, and then everything to the right of it turns to zeros. Okay? You just have to know where the 10,000s is. Well, I could just tell you where the 10,000 is, but that would be just giving you the answer. You can go to Google and you could type in place values. Okay? Place values, and then once you get to place value, then you'll be able to see, okay, well, the 10,000 is here, or it's here, it's here. And that will then teach you how to round. Okay, or it'll teach you how to, it'll get you started on the process of it. Same with this one. If you're not sure which one the tenths is, then you'll have to go on and look. I can't really help you without giving you the answer. Okay? 3.8, telling me whether or not these are greater than or less than. Remember, it's always going to be trying to eat the larger one. Okay? So what my advice here would be to think about these in terms of money. How much money do you have here? How much do you have here? Like here, a lot of people would say $3.08. That is not $3.08. That is $3.80. So is $3.80 bigger than 83 cents? Well, that's what you can figure out. Okay? Remember, money always goes to two places. Okay? Maximum and minimum. Again, something we've covered throughout the entire year. Same with range. You should know those words, and if you need to Google those words, you can, but I think you guys will have those down. I don't think this is going to be a hard one at all. Here's a couple PEMDAS questions. Obviously, you need to show all your work. Okay, so as I look at this first one here, I did want to make a point here. This actually right here, it's really hard to read. We tried to use a pen to kind of sharpen these things up because they didn't copy very well. That is an 8. Okay, it is an 8, and it kind of looks like it, but in case you're confused, it is an 8. You're going to have to show work. This one here, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, not including the answer. Okay, this one has 1, 2, 3 lines. 3 lines, I think. Okay, 3 lines, and again, that's not including the answer. So you might say, some of you might say, well, I had 5 here. That's because you're including the answer. Okay, so I'm not including the answer in the lines. Okay, so you must have 4 and 3 lines there. Let's go on to the next one. this top one here, I want you to skip it. I don't know why this one's on there, but it wasn't supposed to be. You're supposed to skip that one. You're going to have a negative because you're trying to take away something larger than you have. So we're not even going to bother with that one. Okay? And then these other two, just keep something in mind. When you are adding and subtracting decimals, you must line up decimals. Another way to say that is you have to line up your place values. Okay? So if you were taking this one, 2,094, and you were subtracting 87.8, 87 is going to go there. Your decimal's there. You'll have to add a 0 there. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I would require work there. You can check in your calculator, but your work has to match. Same with that one there. You have to do the same exact thing. Let's go on to number 7. Okay, all from chapter 4 and 5 stuff here, ratio stuff. I mean, we've done it all year long. There isn't much I can help you with it. Simplifying the ratio, telling me whether it's part to part or part to whole, and then you're going to turn that into a part to whole if it's not. Okay, so there's not really much I can help there. It's if you're not sure, come see me, but you can look back to your chapter. This would be chapter 4 notes. Your chapter 4 notes would have all this information, and you'll see it in the target. It'll talk about part to part ratios, part to whole ratios. Okay, find the area described. This is what we're currently doing, chapter 10. Okay, and that's going to be LT number 3. So just remember, I'm looking for 3 things here, 3 points: formula, answer, and then your units. But if you don't know this one, I'm concerned because you're gonna have a test coming up. So you definitely got to have your formula, answer, units there, and you should know that one. Okay, finally, number 9, the sum of 2 prime numbers. Okay, remember, a prime number is a number that only has 2 factors. So numbers like 2, 3, 5. There's only 2 numbers that can divide 2 evenly, and that's 2 and 1. There's only 2 numbers that can divide 3 evenly, and that's 3 and 1. There's only 2 numbers that can divide 5 evenly, and that's 5 and 1. So I'll let you keep going from there, and then you should know what a sum is. So we want to say those two prime numbers have to add to get 20. Okay? And finally, here's another divisibility rule question. You have to tell me true or false, and you have to explain it using the rule. I will not accept it if you just simply divide this by this. That's not going to work. If you're not sure, look up the divisibility rule for 2, and that'll give you the answer. All right? All right, guys. I know this one's very review. There's really isn't any tricks on here. It's pretty much straightforward. You guys shouldn't have any issues. See ya.